Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about Unit 12, Second Secondary. The unit is called Keeping Safe. Now, I'd like you just to look at this picture. Okay, what's she doing? Of course she is working on her computer. Is her work safe or dangerous? Do you think it causes any harm or injuries? Okay, so if you're working on your computer, are you exposed to any harm or any injuries? What kind of injuries can she suffer from? Okay, I'd like you just to try to think about any injuries, okay, she can be exposed to. How can she keep safe during her work? Okay, now we're going to begin with some vocabulary items. Let's start. The word angle. Angle, of course, is the position from which something is viewed. Okay, so you can view the subject matter from different angles. Okay, now you can see the subject from 3 different angles. Okay, of course, angle is different from angel, A-N-G-E-L. Of course, you know, angel is a spiritual being, okay, or angels are spiritual beings superior to humans. Okay, for example, God's throne is carried by 8 angels. Blink. Blink is what? When you blink your eyes, this means you shut and open your eyes quickly. The sudden light my brother turned it on made me blink my eyes. Alright? The word height. Of course, height is the measurement from the bottom to the top of an object. While working, you should adjust the angle and the height of your computer screen. Okay, so the height should be suitable to you in order for you to feel comfortable during working. Alright, the word bright. Bright has many meanings. The first one is radiating or reflecting light. Like the glass back cover of the mobile phone was really bright. The second meaning is glorious or successful. Ronaldo, of course Cristiano Ronaldo, is a bright star in the field of football. Alright, bright may mean beautiful or cheerful. His face looks bright today after having a good rest. Also, bright means of high saturation. Okay, like the colors, of course. I like wearing bright colors. Okay. Bright may mean intelligent or clever. Okay, like, for example, his ideas were really bright. Okay, now we come to the verb. Of course, bright is an adjective, but brighten is the verb. Okay, so when you brighten something, this means you make something brighter, more shiny, or more beautiful. I can't see the mobile screen in this strong sunlight, so I try to brighten the screen. So brighten makes it more shiny, okay? Her face brightened when she heard the good news. Okay, this means it shone. Okay, it shone with happiness. She looked happier. Now we come to the noun of bright, that is brightness. Of course, we add the suffix "ness" to some of the adjectives in order to change them into nouns, like illness, happiness, brightness. Alright, so brightness is the quality of light given or reflected by an object. The brightness of the sun prevented me from seeing the information displayed on the screen. All right. Now we come to the word moist. Moist is an adjective. Moist describes something that's wet, damp, or humid. I can't use that towel to dry my hands as it is really moist. The noun from moist is moisture. Moisture means dampness, wetness, or humidity. For example, the coastal air usually contained a considerable amount of moisture. It is pronounced moisture or sometimes moisture. Now we come to another word that is permanent. Permanent is the opposite of temporary. Permanent means to last forever. Like cancer is a permanent illness. It cannot be cured. Okay, so permanent means lasting forever or meant to last forever. The opposite of permanent is temporary. This means lasting for a limited period of time. He had a number of temporary jobs. He has never settled down during his career. Okay, so he keeps changing his jobs. This means every job for him is a temporary one. Okay, now we come to another word that is fire extinguisher. Of course, in most cars and in some of our homes we have this device. It's a piece of equipment used for stopping or putting out small fires. We have the word extinguish fire. This means put out fire. So extinguish means put out. Okay, the word majority means the greatest number of people in a group. The majority of the class means the greatest number of the class. Okay, so the majority, okay, is the opposite of minority. For example, I can say I won the elections. I got the votes of the majority of people. So the greatest number of people, okay, voted for me. So I won the elections. When I say minority, this means the smallest number of people. The smallest number of people in a group. For example, I lost the elections. I got the votes of the minority of people. Okay, we come to another word, which is position. The word position means the location of an object. I can say the position of Abu Simbel temple allows the sun to shine on the face of the Pharaoh, of the Pharaoh's statue, on his birthday. So position means how something is located, how something is situated, how something is placed. We also have position, okay, with another meaning. That's the certain job or social rank of a person. Okay, like when I say Lord Burlesdon knew that his position in society had responsibilities. Okay, you know, Lord Burlesdon, people who have read The Prisoner of Zenda know this name very, very well. But of course you can say the Prime Minister, for instance, has a great position in society. Okay, this means he has a great rank or he has a great post or job. Okay, we have the word position as a verb. Okay, you can position something. This means you adjust its position, adjust the way it is placed. Okay, so position means put something in a certain way. I try to position the computer screen so that I get the clearest vision. Okay, we come to the word overload, and of course, like what you can see here on this picture, when they overload the socket, okay, with numerous or many power supplies, okay, so they plugged in the socket with many power supplies like this. So I can say never overload the electrical socket, as this may result in a fire. The word point out. What's the meaning of point out? Point out means clarify, explain, inform someone about something. So point out means clarify something, explain it, or inform someone about something. The history teacher pointed out for us the results of October War on the whole Middle Eastern area. So point out means to tell someone about something, to clarify it, or to explain it. Okay, the word simple, this is an adjective. The opposite of simple is complicated. Simple means plain or easy to do or easy to understand. Like when I say our teacher usually explains in a very simple way. Okay, so simple is the opposite of complicated. So it is easy to understand and easy to do. Okay. The word point to. Point to refers to something politely. Okay, so when you point to something, this means you refer to it politely. Like I was trying to tell him, or to tell him that photographing was forbidden in this area, so I pointed to the sign. Okay, so point to, this means just use your finger or use your hand, okay, to refer to something. But the word point at, usually use your finger or use a stick or a weapon to point at something, okay, but rather impolitely. So point to, you just clarify something to someone, but point at, you just use your finger or a stick or something, okay, to point, but in a rude way or an impolite way. The word strain. Strain means tiredness or fatigue caused by stress applied on one or more of the body organs. Okay, so sometimes for instance you go to the gym and you carry these weights, okay, using your hand, okay, and you do so much exercise, okay, until your arm is strained, okay, so you feel strain. Okay, when I say repetitive, this means happening more than once, so I can say repetitive strain. Okay, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course you know he is a player, okay, Swedish player, had to retire due to the repetitive injuries. So repetitive means happening more than once, okay, or happening many times, many successive times. Alright, persuade or convince. The word persuade means that you finally make someone agree. Okay, so make you finally agree to do something by speaking more and more in favor of it. Okay, so I can say finally I persuaded my father to let me spend the holiday in Sharm. Okay, so the word persuade or convince mean that you try to make someone agree to do something, okay, by speaking about it very much, okay, or by trying to tell him that there are many advantages, okay, so finally he can agree. We have taken the word simple. Now we come to the verb of the word simple, that is simplify. Simplify something, this means make it simple. So when I simplify something, this means I make something as simple as possible. Okay, I will try to simplify this complicated theory for you. Okay, the word simplification is a noun. This means making something as simple as possible. Like our scientists are working on the simplification of modern science. Okay, simplification of modern sciences. So they are trying to make it simple. They work on the simplification of it. The noun from simple is simplicity. Simplicity means being simple. Okay, the simplicity of the subject made us understand it without any effort. The simplicity of the subject made it understand it without any effort. Alright, another expression that is come up with. Alright, when you come up with an idea, this means you offer a new idea, you propose a new idea, you find a new idea and share it with the others. Okay, so I come up with a new idea. This means I could find a new idea and I suggested it or proposed it, okay, so the others can share it with me. Like when I say we didn't know what to present in this year's school party until one of the students came out with a brilliant idea. Alright, so I'm sorry, it's supposed to be came up with a brilliant idea. So again, this part, we didn't know what to present in this year's school party until one of the students came up with a brilliant idea. So came up with an idea. This means he found an idea and told us about it. The word come out means be available, be available to be published. Okay, it is used for magazines, books, etc. This means the book or the magazine appeared, okay, and became available in the markets for people to buy. Like when I say a new novel by Dr. Khalid Tawfiq came out last week. So came out, this means appeared in the markets and became available for people to buy. Okay, now we come to the word come round. Come round means wake up after an operation or illness. You can now talk to the patient who finally came round after a serious operation. Okay, so come round means wake up after an operation or an illness. Okay, now we come to a number of expressions that you can find in this unit. We have take a break from. This means stop doing something for some time. So you take a break from. Like when I say I took a break from studying math, for instance. Okay. Make changes to. Okay, so we usually make changes, not do changes. Okay, so they made a lot of changes to the original script of the play. Okay, so we usually make changes, not do changes. When I say it takes ages, this means it takes a long time. Okay, fly at a height of, this means the like when you say, for example, the plane flew at a height of 11,000 kilometers. Okay, so fly at a height of. Looks into the future. This means predict the future. Okay, predict future events based on logical analysis of the present. So when I look into the future, okay, I can tell you about future events, okay, but only based on logical analysis of the present. In case the worst happens, this means I take procedures to overcome bad effects if they happen. So in case here means just I be careful, okay, and I take all the procedures in order to overcome any bad effects that might happen. Work out a fire escape plan. Of course, work out means invent, okay, or find, try to find, okay, try to solve a problem, something like that. So work out a fire escape plan. This means you think of a plan, okay, and in order to be ready with it, okay, in case of fire. So work out a fire plan. This means think of a plan and be ready with it in case of fire. When you let someone down, this means you disappoint him. You make someone disappointed. Like when I say your exam results let me down, okay, disappointed me. When I say that something is in use, this means that it is being used currently. Okay, so in use, this means currently being used. When I say something, okay, has to do with something else, this means has a relation to it. Okay, when I say, okay, Ali has something to do with the crime, this means he is involved in it. Okay, he has a relation to the crime. Alright, when I say take an action, this means do something to prevent harm. Okay, like for instance, the Egyptian government is trying to take an action against coronavirus, for instance. Alright, now we come to some expressions that we may find in the unit, okay, but they are suitable for translation, so I wrote them in English and in Arabic. Okay, so like when I say underground water, this is of course المياه الجوفية. Negotiations المفاوضات. Slight damage ضرر خفيف أو ضرر بسيط. Summit conference مؤتمر القمة. Arab League okay جامعة الدول العربية. Strengthen relations means يدعم العلاقات. On a big scale على نطاق واسع. Press statement بيان صحفي. Hard currency العملة الصعبة. Renaissance نهضة. Economic recession الركود الاقتصادي. Economic recovery انتعاش اقتصادي. Economic reform إصلاح اقتصادي, like what's happening in Egypt nowadays. Economic instability عدم استقرار اقتصادي. Of course stable is means مستقر. Instability عدم الاستقرار. Stability الاستقرار. Instability عدم الاستقرار. Economic inflation التضخم الاقتصادي. This means that prices are getting higher and higher. Economic sanctions. Sanctions of course means punishments, عقوبات. Economic sanctions عقوبات اقتصادية. Alright, now we come to some synonyms and antonyms. Okay, we have plug, for instance, when you plug the socket. Okay, plug means connect, and the opposite of plug is unplug. Moist, this means wet, damp. Okay, and the antonym is dry. Careful is the word careful is an adjective, and the opposite is the careful means cautious, and the opposite is careless. Okay, so careful, the synonym is cautious, and the antonym is careless. Sensible means wise, rational. Okay, wise or rational, this means you think well, you think clearly, you have good opinions. Okay, you have wise opinions. Okay, the antonym of sensible is insensible. Adult means that you are grown up enough, okay, to think well and to depend on yourself and to have responsibility. Okay, this means mature. Okay, and the antonym is child. Okay, we have pain, this means ache, and the antonym is relieve. Majority, okay, this means mass or most, and the opposite is minority. Permanent, this means lasting forever, okay, and the antonym is temporary. And also we have stretch, means expand, okay, and the opposite is shrink. Okay, so stretch, expand, the opposite is shrink. Alright, now we come to our book, and please open your book, okay, on unit 12. Now, number 1, Do this short quiz and then compare your answers with a partner. Okay, when I say me and my computer, this means, okay, when I work on my computer, I have to be comfortable, or as comfortable as possible. Okay, let's do this survey. How many hours a day do you use your computer? Less than an hour, from 1 to 2 hours, from 3 to 6, or more than 6 hours. It's according to what you do. How often do you take a break from looking at the computer screen? Of course, you should do that. Okay, so after 10 minutes, after 30 minutes, after an hour. Which of these feelings do you have after using a computer for a long time? Do you feel that your eyes are tired? Your back, arms, or neck are painful? Or you have a headache? So, alright, we are going to find out. Now, we come to this listening part, so please listen. Okay, here one of the experts or a scientist, okay, it talks about how to work in your computer without getting injuries or harm or pain and so on. He says, "Good morning. I want to thank your head teacher for inviting me to speak to you today about using computers." Of course, here this scientist or expert was invited by the head teacher to speak to the students, so he is talking to the students. Right, so he is going to talk about using computers without damaging your health. So I'm here to answer all the questions that you have sent me over the last week. We all need computers, don't we? When your head asked me to come here, I wanted to know where the school was. So I looked on my computer to find it. We all use computers as part of our everyday life, at home, at school, and at work. Computers are great, but it's important to use them in the right way, and that is what I want to talk about today. Many of you asked me how long people spend on a computer each day. Well, it's not unusual for adults and the children to be on their computers for 6 or 7 hours every day. So usually, okay, children, okay, use the computer for 6 or 7 hours every day. Of course, this is long period of time, long daily period of time. And this increase in computer use has brought with it problems related to different parts of our bodies, mainly our eyes, backs, and arms. One of you said that you had pain in your arms after using a computer. You asked me how long the pain would last. Most of the pain we feel after using our computers are temporary and disappear after a rest or a change of activity. The most common computer-related problems are headaches and pain in our arms, back, and neck. The most serious of these is repetitive strain injury, or RSI, repetitive strain injury, which can lead to permanent damage. Another student wanted to know why he was getting RSI. Problems like this are usually caused by sitting in an unusual position for a long period of time, or having your chair in the wrong position. Perhaps the most important way of preventing these problems is to take regular breaks from your computer, at least 5 minutes every hour. During these breaks, you should move around or do stretching exercises. You should also make sure your desk or table is the right height and the computer screen at the correct angle. You will also find it helpful to have your feet flat on the floor. Some of you asked me, what you could do to prevent damage to your eyes. If you are a regular computer user, you should have your eyes tested once every 2 years. To avoid eye problems while you are working, blink regularly and focus on things which are further away than the computer screen. Okay, other actions. So I can say other actions that you can take include keeping the air in the room moist, for example by using plants or a glass of water. This will stop your eyes from becoming dry. Also change the brightness of your screen from time to time, and of course keep your screen clean. These are some of the basic rules for avoiding health problems related to computer use. Follow these and you should not experience serious problems. Alright, now we come to this exercise number 3 on unit 12 in your student's book. Listen to a talk about computer health and safety and answer the questions. Alright, the first one is done, number A. Who do you think that the speaker is talking to? Yes, he's talking to people in a school. Okay. Number B. How many hours a day do some people use computers according to the speaker? So according to the speaker, they use it 6 or 7 hours a day. Why is repetitive strain injury a serious problem? Maybe it can cause permanent damage or permanent injury. The other problems are not permanent. So some injuries are permanent and some others are not. Number D. How many minutes a break should we take every hour? We should take 5 minutes break every hour. Number E. What 2 things should you do to prevent eye problems when using a computer? You should blink and focus on things that are further away from the screen. Number F. What shouldn't happen if you follow the speaker's advice? Of course, you shouldn't experience serious problems. Now we come to exercise number 4. Listen again and discuss these questions in pairs. Number A. What is wrong with the way this person is sitting? And what problems might he have? Now we can see that his chair is too tall, okay? The chair is high, okay? He cannot put his feet flat on the floor, and also he bends, okay, or he is hunching over the computer screen, okay? Maybe the position of the computer, okay, is not suitable for him. Okay, so we can say that the chair is too high and is too far from the computer, so that's why he bends forward. And also his desk is too low. He will get a sore back, okay, and sore arms. Number B. What should he do to prevent these problems? He should sit straight and nearer to the computer. He should get a lower chair or a higher desk. Okay, now we come to the reading part, and next to the reading part you can see these items in the picture. Here, what is this place? Okay, of course you can see that it is a kitchen. Okay, what's wrong? What's going to happen? Okay, is the situation safe or dangerous? Okay, this woman is trying to put out the fire that started in the heater. Okay, of course the heater is an electric device, and so we should never put out the electric fires, like the electrical fires, like that. And also, okay, you can see the stove and the pot that's about to fall. Okay, you can see the little child who is trying to pull the iron. Okay, and maybe it is hot, it's working. Okay, of course it can burn him. And also you can see the socket, okay, that is loaded, okay, with many devices connected to it. Okay, now, so we can just summarize this. The woman is pouring water onto an electric fire. The pan on the oven is boiling and the lid might fall off. The baby might pull the wire. The iron might fall on him. The woman might stand on the toy and fall over. And also, there are too many things plugged into the socket. This might cause a fire. Okay, now let's read this. Okay, this is the reading part. Safety at home. One of the most common causes of personal injury is an accident at home. And the two groups most in danger from these injuries are children under 5 and adults over 70. Recently, a group of people were asked where most accidents took place at home. The majority correctly said the kitchen, because this is where most house fires begin. The bathroom is also a dangerous area, danger area. Okay, so it is an area that includes dangers, because this is where many older people fall and where some accidents involving electrical equipment happen. When we asked a safety expert what we could do to prevent accidents at home, he came up with some simple but useful ideas. He pointed out, for example, that we should not leave food cooking in the kitchen. He also recommended a number of other simple things we could do, including turning off and unplugging electrical equipment when it is not in use, and not overloading electrical sockets. He also said that all homes should have some smoke alarms. He also said that all homes should have smoke alarms. Finally, we asked him what we should do if a fire started at home. He suggested that all homes should have at least one fire extinguisher, and that families should work out a fire escape plan in case the worst happened. He also reminded us that throwing water on a fire, for example on a fire caused by electrical equipment, does not always put it out and can make the situation worse. In these cases, a fire blanket is recommended. If everyone follows this simple advice, the number of serious injuries caused by accidents at home can be reduced. Okay, now we come to exercise number 3. Read the article and answer the questions. Which two groups of people have most accidents at home? Of course, they are children under 5 and adults over 70. What two dangers are there in the bathrooms? What two dangers are there in bathrooms? The first one is people can fall or have accidents involving electrical equipment. Okay, so people can fall, especially the older people. Okay, they can slide and fall down. And the second danger that we can have accidents involving electrical equipment. Of course, okay, the bathroom has water and has some electric devices. Okay, so maybe, okay, you can get an electric shock. Number C. What can be the problem with throwing water on a fire? Throwing water on a fire of electrical equipment can make it worse. Now answer these questions. Number A. Why did people think that the kitchen was where most accidents at home happen? Okay, why the kitchen itself? Okay, because this is where most house fires begin. Number B. What should people do if they are not using electrical equipment? Okay, they should turn it off and unplug it. So if you are not using an electrical equipment, you should turn it off and unplug it. What two pieces of equipment should help people to put out fire? Okay, so fire extinguisher and a fire blanket. Okay, we should use both of them. Of course, using fire blanket with electrical fires and using fire extinguisher with fires that are the origin of fire is gas or something burning or something like that. How else should people prepare in case there is a fire? Families should prepare a fire escape plan. Okay, now we come to the critical thinking part. Number A. Accidents at home are a common cause of what? Of personal injuries. Some injuries that happen in the bathroom involve what? Okay, involve electrical equipment. Number C. The safety expert said that we should not overload what? We should not overload electrical sockets. Number D. To help detect fires early, all homes should have what? All homes should have smoke alarms. Number E. If you have a fire caused by electrical equipment, you should use a what to put it out? You should use a fire blanket. Number 2. Why do you think that young children and older adults are the most in danger from accidents at home? Of course, young children don't always understand about dangers in the home, and old people can forget things and sometimes fall over easily because they can slide and fall over. Number B. What changes are there in a kitchen? There are many dangers from electrical equipment, hot ovens, sharp knives, etc. Number C. What dangers are there in bedrooms and living rooms? There might be electrical equipment, for example computers or televisions, toys on the floor, open windows, glass that might break, etc. Okay, now we come to this part. Okay, choose the correct meaning of the phrasal verbs with come. We have he came up with some simple but useful ideas. Here, come up with an idea, this means thought of an idea. Number B. It was nearly an hour before he came round after the accident. Came round here means what? He recovered or he woke up after an operation or illness. Okay, the right answer is B. So, come round, this means only woke up. Okay, he only woke up, not recovered, not completely recovered. Okay, so he came round, this means he came to his senses again. Okay, he can talk to you. Alright, number C. The first Jurassic Park film, okay, that spoke about dinosaurs, came out in 1993. Here, came out means what? He appeared or he became public. Okay, so came out means appeared. Okay, became available for people to watch. Number 2. Complete these sentences with the correct form of a phrasal verb with come. Number A. They operated on my brother at midday and he space an hour later. Okay, so he had an operation and then he what? He came round. Number B. Alright, the author's new book space last month. We can say that the author's new book space last month. Of course, the book came out, became available for people to buy. Number C. When I asked my teacher for help, he space some useful advice. So we can say he came up with some useful advice. Okay, now we come to the language functions. Here, okay, we want to talk about how to persuade someone, how to make persuasion. Okay, we can say go on Hazem. Okay, go on means I'm trying to encourage him or persuade him to do something. Okay, number 2, I can say you are not going to let me down. You are not going to let me down. So if he refused, okay, to do what I suggest for him, maybe this may let me down or disappoint me. So I say you are not going to let me down. We can also say come on, it's a great film. You will love it. So here I'm trying to persuade him to watch the film. Okay, I can say I would say and give my opinion. Let's say and also give an opinion, or let's and suggest something. Okay, all these are ways how to persuade someone to do something. Now, how to respond to a persuasion. Someone persuaded you to do something. How do you respond? You can say, oh, you have persuaded me. Okay, so if you are finally convinced, you can say, oh, you have persuaded me. Or you can say, that's a good idea. That sounds fine. You can also say, personally, I would prefer, and do something else. Okay, and say something else. Or you can say, sorry, I don't agree. This is disagreeing. Now we come to some exercise on vocabulary. Number 1, we use the fire what to stop or for stopping small fires. Fire extinguisher, distinguish, alarm, fighter. Of course, we use fire extinguisher. If you space electrical equipment, it stops working. If you turn up, unplug, plug, turn on. Of course, it is unplug. Number 3. There's a tree in our garden which is growing at a very strange what? A very strange angle. That's the first one is angel. Okay, number B is angles. Number C is angels. Number D is angle. Okay, the right answer is angle. Number 4. There are no hills or mountains, so the road is very what? Very ups and downs, very flat, very bumpy. Okay, very bumpy, very curved. Okay, the road is very flat. Number 5. The bridge over the river is not space. It will not be there next year. So it is not okay, so it is not permanent. Number 6. Can you change the space on the television? It's very dark. So can you change the what? The brightness, the lightning, the bright, the plight. Of course, the brightness. Number 7. Plants grow better in soil, which is what? Moist, dry, drought. Of course, moist soil. Number 8. The space of Mount Sinai is 2,285 meters above sea level. Of course, the height. Number 9. I must move because I am sitting in an uncomfortable what? Post, disposition, position, composition. Of course, position. Number 10. If you get something in your eyes, you should space quickly. Blink, drink, wake, prick. The right answer is blink. Number 11. A space is a place in a wall where you can connect electrical equipment. A socket, a rocket, a locket, a bucket. A socket. This is the right answer. Number 12. To point something space is to tell someone something that they didn't know or see. So you point something what? On, out, at, or to. So you point something out. Number 13. It can be very dangerous to space a socket. Download, upload, load, overload. The right answer is overload. Number 14. The space of a group is most of the people in it. The major, the majority, the minority, the minor. The right answer is the majority. Number 15. Something that is space is not difficult. Sample, hard, simple, facilitate. Something that is simple. Number 16. Omar came what? A good suggestion for what to get Nabil. He came up with, he came out, he came round, he came on. He came up with. A new novel I want to read comes what? Next week. Comes up with, comes out, comes round, comes on. The right answer is out. Number 18. The best authors are always very good at coming what? With good ideas. Coming up, coming out, coming round, coming on. Okay, it's come up with. Mona came slowly after the accident, but she is fine now. So I can say she came up with, she came out, she came round, she came on. The right answer is she came round. Number 20. Why is space strain injury a serious problem? Repetition, repeated, repetitive, repeat. The right answer is repetitive. Number 21. In pairs. Okay, space turns to say these sentences. Take turns, leave turns, get turns, put turns. The right answer is take turns. Number 22. Space is the weather usually like when the sea is flat. I say which, what, how, or why. The answer is what. Number 23. We all use computers as part of our space life. Do you say every day or every day? Connected, two words are connected together. Or every year or every month? Of course, the right answer is everyday life. Why? Because the word everyday here is an adjective that describes the word life. Okay, so when you use it as an adjective describing a noun, okay, you use everyday as connected word, just one word. But the word every day, okay, that is a, is adverbial phrase, okay, describing a verb. All right, like when I say I go to school every day. So every day here describes the word go, describes a verb. Okay, usually it comes at the end of a sentence. But every day, like number B, is an adjective describing a noun, okay, that follows it. Number 24. Many of you asked me how long people spent space a computer each day. In, on, at, of. Okay, it is on a computer. This increase, of course we pronounce it like that, increase when it is noun and increase when it is a verb. Now this increase space computer use has brought with it problems. Increase in, on, at, of. It's increase in. Computers cause problems related our bodies. Related what? For, with, to, of. It is related to. Most pains, okay, after using computers are space and disappear after a rest. Okay, because they disappear, so they aren't permanent, but they are what? Temporary. Number 28. The most computer-related problems are headaches and pain. The most commonest, the most common, the most rarely, the most rare. Of course, the most common. Number 29. To prevent these problems is to take regular medicine, breaking. Okay, of course it is breaks, number C. What about number B? Breaks number B is the tool or the device that stops a car or a bicycle. Okay, you press the brakes in order for the car to stop. Number 30. During these breaks you should space stretching exercise. We usually do exercise, make exercise, doing exercise, giving exercise. We usually do exercise. Doing is not used because of should. Should is followed by infinitive. 31. Make sure your desk or table is the right what? High, height, highly, highness. Of course it is height, the right height. Number 32. Make sure your computer screen is at the correct what? Ruler, flat, angle, triangle. Of course, make sure it is at the correct angle. Okay. Number 32. Make sure your computer screen is at the correct, we said it before, at the correct angle. 33. You will also find it helpful to have your feet space on the floor. Have your feet lean, far, forward, flat. The best answer is flat. You should have your eyes what? Every 2 years. You should have your eyes tested, testing, tests. Okay, this is the structure that's called causative. Okay, when someone else does something for you, you have taken this in the first term, okay, and the A level. Okay, like when I say I had my hair cut yesterday. This means I didn't cut it myself, but someone else cut it for me. Okay, like I had my flat decorated. This means someone else decorated it for me. Okay, so this is a causative structure. You are familiar with it because you have taken it last term. 35. To avoid eye problems while you working, blink regularly. While you, of course, you are working. Number 36, because this is general, by the way. Number 36. Keep the eye in the room, keep the air in the room what? By using plants or a glass of water. Keep the air moisture, dampness, dry. You keep the air moist. Okay, this means okay, has some water vapor. Alright, in order for your eyes not to dry. 37. Change the space of your screen from time to time. Change the brightness, color, sound. Here we need a noun, and the noun is brightness. Okay, so we change the brightness in order to make your eye more comfortable. Number 38. I will speak to you about using computers without space your health. Without is one of the prepositions that should be followed by a gerund or verb plus ing. So I say without damaging. Number 39. One of the most common space of personal injury is an accident at home. So one of the most common causes, cause, reasons, reason. So it is one of the most common causes of. We usually say a cause of, but a reason for. Okay, so it's one of the most common causes. One of is followed by a plural. And I cannot say one of the cause. I say one of the causes. Where do most accidents take what? At home. Take part, take happen, take palace, take place. So I say take what? Take place, of course. And take place means, okay, happen. So most accidents take place, and take place mean happen. Take place means happen. Okay, now we come to the grammar part in this unit, that is reported questions. I know that you are familiar with it, okay, but we are going just to revise it very quickly, okay, step by step. The reported speech. Okay, now reporting questions is very similar to reporting statements. We change references to people, okay, that's to say we change the pronouns. We change references to places, like here becomes there, okay, and this becomes that. And we change references to times, like for instance yesterday becomes the day before, tomorrow becomes the next day or the following day, okay, and so on as well. But there are some differences. Okay, Okay, now look at this example. What are you doing? Tom asked. In order to change this into reported speech, of course we begin with Tom. I can say Tom asked me what I was doing. So the word are became was, and of course you became I because it refers to me. So now we place the verbs in the past tense after the subject. Okay, so are and doing, are doing became was doing. And also we now place the subject before the verb, okay, are, because the word order is the same as the statement. Okay, so in order to change a question from direct and indirect, okay, we change the word order from a question into a statement. Okay, that's to say, we didn't say, okay, what was I doing, but we said what I was doing. So we changed it into the form of a statement, not the form of a question. Alright, let's report yes/no questions now. There's a small difference between these questions and the WH questions. Alright, for example, when I say, will you be here, Tom? Will you be here? Tom asked. Okay, when I report it, it becomes Tom asked me, okay, if I would be there. Will you be here? Tom asked. Tom asked me if I would be there. Now, instead of the question word, we use if or whether. Okay, so here I use if or whether in order to report a in order to report a yes/no question. So if I have a yes/no question, a question beginning with a modal, okay, or a helping verb, okay, I use if or whether, okay, just to connect the two parts of the statement. So I say Tom asked me if, okay, I would be there. Reporting questions with do. If your question begins with do or does or did, okay, we usually drop these helping verbs. Okay, like, where do they come from? Tom asked. Tom asked me where they came from. So what do you notice? The word do is dropped. So I say Tom asked me where they came from. Okay, so the word do is dropped. I just used where. So if you are going to report WH question, okay, you use the WH word as it is. And don't forget to change the tense of the verb come into came, because you have asked, of course, and asked is past. So reported questions are like positive statements, so we don't need the auxiliary do. In this case, do is present, so we change the main verb come into the past simple. So we just dropped do, okay, and change it come into came. Alright, let's see what happens if the question has the auxiliary do in the past. Like, did you see Jane? Tom asked. When we report it, it becomes Tom asked me if I had seen Jane. What do you notice? What happened to did? Of course, did is omitted or dropped. Why is it dropped? Okay, because if we are going to report a question, okay, or change it from direct into indirect, okay, I change it into the form of a statement. And in the form of a statement, okay, especially when it is an affirmative statement, do, does, did are not present. So you dropped did, but notice that the word see became had seen. Why do you think so? See became had seen because it wasn't originally see. It is supposed to be so, but we have did. Okay, of course, because we have did here, did is followed by the infinitive. But if you are going to drop did, okay, see must be so. And when you report it, it becomes had seen. So Tom asked me if I had seen Jane. So again, don't need the auxiliary do. In this case, did is past, so we change the main verb see into the past perfect, straightforward. Alright, so in reported question, the word order becomes like that. Let's see this example. How fast can you run? Tom asked. So I can say Tom asked me how fast. I didn't say could I run, but I say I could run. How fast I could run. Okay, so don't forget to change a question from the form of a question into the form of a statement, okay, when you change it into reported speech. Okay, so Tom, okay, asked me how fast I could run. Okay, so you place the auxiliary or the helping verb after the subject, not before it. Alright, now in order to report imperative, okay, or orders or requests or warnings, okay, let's see the example. We have go to your room, okay, like mother said. So I can say mother told me to go to my room. I can say mother ordered me to go to my room. Mother asked me to go to my room. Mother warned me that I should go to my room. Something like that. So basically we need to add to, okay. So if you have an order like go to your room, open the door, okay, when you report you use to plus the infinitive, okay, the bare infinitive. Here mother told me to go to my room. So basically we need to add to the verb and do the rest of the changes. Let's report negative orders, requests or warnings. When I say don't make so much noise, Tom. Tom's mother asked him not to make so much noise. Okay, so if you have don't, you drop it and change it into not to. Okay. Now, changing two questions into indirect. We use and if or and plus WH word. Like here, he said, why are you late? Did you miss the bus? So I say, he wondered or he asked why I was late and if I had missed the bus. So here I used and if. Why and if? Because the two questions are yes no questions. Okay, so I connect the two questions using and if. Alright, he said, where did you buy it? How much did it cost you? Here you have two questions and both of them begin with the WH word. So if you change them, you say he wanted to know where I had bought it and how much it had cost me. Now when we report offer, like this example, he said, shall I get you some tea? Shall I is used to make an offer. So we say he asked me if he could get me some tea. Okay, so he asked me if he could get me some tea. So in order to report an offer, we use a sentence with could. You can also say he offered me some tea, or he offered to get me some tea. So all of them are correct ways to report an offer. Reporting requests. He said, "Could you open the window, please?" This is a request. Okay, so request is like an order. So you can say, he asked me to open the window. So the request is like an order. Now, if you have one of these expressions, they are usually followed by the reported question. Okay, so reported questions can usually be used after one of the following expressions, like I'd like to know, I want to know, I wonder, I don't know, I ask, can you tell me or could you tell me, I inquire, I wanted to know, I wondered, I had no idea, I asked, I didn't know. Like here, what did you eat yesterday? Begin with I'd like to know. Of course, if I begin with this expression, I'd like to know, I must change the question into indirect or reported question, like I'd like to know what you ate the day before. I'd like to know what you had eaten the day before. Again, I'd like to know what you had eaten the day before. So why here we changed eat into had eaten? Again, because we had the word did. Okay. Again, this part. Okay. The question is, what did you eat yesterday? Begin with I'd like to know. Okay, here there is a certain remark that, okay, the word or the expression I'd like to know is not a past tense verb. It is not like asked. Asked is past tense verb. But here I'd like to know is not past. Okay, so you are not beginning the reported question with a past expression. In this case, it's better for you, or it's you don't have to change the verb into the past. Okay, and also you don't have to change the expressions referring to the time or place, okay, to the past. Okay, so here the correct answer is I'd like to know what you ate yesterday. Why? Because I'd like to know is present. So I don't change ate into had eaten. This was wrong. Okay. When do you change ate into had eaten? When you begin with asked, for instance, or wondered, or wanted to know. Okay, so you change eat into had eaten. Okay, but here you begin with I'd like to know, and this is not a past expression. Okay, so ate remains the okay, you had did here, so it was past simple. Okay, you made it ate, that is also past simple, so no change in the tense, and also yesterday is not changed. Okay, now we come to the second one. How did China control coronavirus? I wondered. Here you don't have I wonder, but I wondered. Again, this is past. So if you use it, I say I wondered how China had controlled coronavirus. Here you had did here. Okay, so originally the question was in the past simple. When we changed it into indirect, we used had controlled. Why? Because of course you have I wondered, that is a past expression. Okay, and you have to send the tense into past. So we change it did into had controlled. Did control into had controlled. The past simple into past perfect. Okay, now this is part of the book. Okay, the only exercise on the grammar part here. We just want to match. Okay, we want to match what? The reported question, okay, should be matched to the direct question. Okay, so on the left you had some reported questions, and on the right column includes some direct or straightforward words. Number 1. Your head teacher asked me if I could come here. Okay, 1 is matched to E. Okay, the actual words were, can you come here? These are the actual words. Number 2. Many of you asked me how long people spent on a computer each day. Okay, we match number 2 into A. So the actual words are, how long do people spend on a computer each day? Number 3. You asked me how long the pain would last. It's matched to number D. How long will the pain last? Okay, so the word would was originally will. Number 4. Another student wanted to know why he was getting RSI. And RSI, of course, is repetitive strain injury. So what did he say? What are the actual words? The actual words are number C. Why am I getting RSI? Number 5. Some of you asked me what you could do to prevent damage to your eyes. Okay, it is matched to number B. Okay, the actual words were, what can we do to prevent damage to our eyes? Okay, mind the expression damage too. Okay, now we come to this exercise. Number 1, he asked me why to work abroad. Why I want, why I wanted, why do I want, why did I want. Of course, after the word asked, you get the indirect question. So, okay, the word order must begin with a pronoun or a noun, not a verb. So I say why I wanted. Okay, number 2. They asked me if my parents space I was there. Know, are knowing, have known, knew. Okay, so the actual words were, do your parents know you are there or you are here? Okay, so of course know becomes knew. They asked me if my parents knew I was there. Number 3. Nabil asked Yasser space he was doing. What, when, how, where. The right answer is what. Okay, so the direct question was, what are you doing? Number 4. She asked me space the bag for her. This is a request. Okay, so I can say she asked me to carry the bag for her. Number 5. He asked me space I had a driving license. So I say he asked me whether, what, how many, how high. So he asked me whether. Number 6. She asked me space I could tell her how old I was. How, when, why, whether. Okay, again it is whether. Whether means if I could tell her. Number 7. They want to know who the match. Who did win, who won, who do win, who does win. Of course, we avoid the choices that begin with a helping verb, so I use won, who won. Number 8. She asked me which university had I been to, go I to, did I go to, I had been to. She asked me which university I had been to. Number 9. She asked him space he was going out with. asked him which, what, whether, who. It is, he asked She asked him who he was going out with. Number 10. He asked me whether my uncle space I was trying to find another job. So she asked me whether my uncle knew. Okay, the actual words were, does your uncle know, okay, you are trying to find another job? Number 11. He asked me why to work for their company. Why do I want, had I wanted, did I want, I wanted. So it becomes he asked me why I wanted to work for their company. Number 12. I wanted to know space she came home early or not. If, why, whether, when. So I wanted to know whether she came home early or not. Okay, so we have whether and if. Okay, but it's better to use whether if you have or not. Whether or not. Number 13. She wondered how space about working in a big city. She wondered how I would feel, how did I feel, how do I feel, how had I felt. So the best answer is how I would feel. Number 14. Rami wanted to know where Mona 2 days before is, has been, had been, would be. Of course it is had been because it is originally 2 days ago, so it was past simple and became past perfect. I wondered what of my idea, what they thought, what did they think, what had they thought, what will they think. So we avoid all the choices that begin with helping verb. Okay, it remains they thought. Number 16. Warda asked Sarah if she the bus to school. Take, takes, has taken, took. So it becomes Warda asked Sarah if she took the bus to school. Number 17. Tariq asked who Mazen playing football with. Had been, has been, is. So Tariq asked who Mazen had been playing football with. Number 18. I asked him what then. What was he reading? What had he read? What he had read? What he was reading. You have the word then, and then is like now. Okay, so it was originally now. So the verb was present continuous. It is changed into past continuous, so it becomes he was reading. Number 19. He asked me if a new car the previous month. If do I buy, did I buy, I would buy, I had bought. He asked me if I had bought. Sorry, it's the previous month is if I had bought, yes. Okay, so I have to change this. Okay, so we say he asked me, number 19, he asked me if I had bought a new car the previous month. Number 20, he asked me if I knew that his sister space ill. He asked me if I knew that his sister had been ill. 21. She asked me, here notice the inverted commas are present. So it is a direct question, not an indirect or a reported question. So she asked me, okay, what have you watched? You have watched. You are watching. Are you watch? So the best answer is have you watched. Number 22. He wanted to know how much for my car. I pay, I have paid, had I paid, I had paid. So it is how much I had paid for my car. Number 23. Farouk asked Osman, why late? Why was he? Why are you? Why is he? Why he was? It's better to say why he was. Number 24. The teacher said, where Hazem? Where your book is? Where your books were? Where the books are? Where is your book? This is a direct question, so I say, where is your book? It is direct, not indirect. This is an ordinary question. Number 25. Karim space Noor if there was sugar in the cup. Asked, told, said, talked. It becomes asked. 26. Sami asked Ala where that precious stone. Where had she found? Where she had found? Where did she find? Where she found? Of course, it's better to say where she had found. Number 27. They wanted to know music. They wanted to know if I played, did I play, do I play, that I play. They wanted to know if I played. She wondered there was anything interesting at the weekend. If, whether, when, that. She wondered if there was anything interesting at the weekend. 29. He asked me I had written my report or not. Whether, if, or had. The first one, of course, whether, because the second one, number B, whether, this is the condition of the air and the atmosphere and so on. Number 30. Samia asked Hala she was doing anything the next day. Unless, whether, without, except. So it becomes whether. Okay? Meaning that she said to her, okay, are you doing anything the next day? 31. The teacher asked Ahmed all the way on foot. Why he came, if he come, how would he come, if does he come. Of course, the right choice is why he came. Mahmoud promised he would not tell anyone what done. What had I done? What I had done? What have I done? What I have done. It's better to say what I had done. 34. Taha's mother asked him where he had been. Had he been? Has he been? He has been. Where he had been. 35. Do you know what does this mean? What this means? What this meaning? What this meant? It's better to say what this means. But why not what this meant? Because I'm beginning with do you know, not did you know. Okay, so I don't change the tense of the verb. It's do you know what this means, not what this meant. Tariq's mother asked him what time he home from school. He is home, will be home, would be home, being home. You have asked, so you have to use a tense that's sent to the past, so I use would be. 37. The students asked the teacher what they to help stop global warming. What they do, what they can do, what they did, what they could do. The students asked the teacher what they, again this needs modification. The students asked the teacher what they could do. Why could do? Because you have asked. So I have to change the tense into past, so I say could do. 38. Our science teacher told us that metals by heating expanded, would expand, will expand. So our science teacher told us that metals expand by heating. Why expand? Although you have the word told, and told is past, so you have changed expand into expanded. But this is a scientific fact, and if you have a scientific fact, you don't change it into the past. Ahmed said that if the train spaced down, we wouldn't be late. If the train didn't break down, we wouldn't be late. This is the second condition. Alright, now we come to the workbook, unit 12. This exercise, number 1, we have angle, blink, brightness, flat, height, moist, permanent, and position. Number A, that's a tree. There's a tree in our garden which is growing at a very strange angle. Number B, there are no hills or mountains, so the road is very what here? The road is very flat here. Number C, the bridge over the river is not what? It will not be there next year. So the bridge is not permanent. So it is going to be changed. Number D, can you change the space on the television? It's very dark. Can you change the brightness? Number E, plants grow better in soil which is, now, soil which is what? Moist. Number F, the space of Mount Sinai is 2,285 meters. So it is what? The height. Number 9, I must move because I'm sitting in an uncomfortable what? Uncomfortable position. So number F is the height of Mount Sinai. Number G, I must move because I'm sitting in an uncomfortable position. And finally number H, if you get something in your eyes, you should what quickly? You should blink quickly. So here are the answers. Alright, which parts, this number 2 choose, which parts of the body can you stretch? You can stretch your legs or head, of course your legs. At which height do you think most planes fly at? 11,000 meters or 1,000 meters? Can you guess? It's of course number A, 11,000 meters. Number C, what's the weather usually like when the sea is flat? Is it rainy and windy or calm and sunny? So when the sea is flat, this means no waves. The weather should be calm and sunny. Number D, in which position do you usually sleep? You sleep when you are sitting down or lying down. Of course, most people sleep when they are lying down. Number E. What's the opposite of moist? Moist, of course, something is wet, okay, or has slight water, or some a slight quantity of water. So moist is the opposite of dry. In which subject do we measure angles? Do we measure angles in Arabic or in Maths? Of course, we do that in Maths. So here are all the answers. Of course, you can pause the video at any time in order for you to fill in, or to write the answers in your workbooks. We have these words. We want to change them, change the part of a speech of every word, in order to suit the blanks here. Number A, the brightness of the sun made it very difficult to drive next to the lake. Number B, there was a lot of what when we heard our teacher was leaving. She was very popular. Of course, there was a lot of. Of course, we use the word sad, but it needs to be a noun. The noun of sad is sadness, so it becomes sadness. Number C. On the first day of the holidays, the space of the children was clear. The first day of the holidays, the children were what? Well, they were happy. So what was clear? Their happiness. So again, we used an ESS. Have a lot of sleep before taking your exams. Space can stop you remembering things. Being tired, of course, but the noun is tiredness. So tiredness can stop you remembering things. Here you have some questions in the reported speech. We want to change them into direct questions. Number A is done. Nabil asked Yasser what he was doing. So the actual words were, what are you doing, Yasser? Number B. Rami wanted to know where Mona had been. So it becomes what? It becomes, where have you been, Mona? Number C. Reem's mother asked her when she would be home from the shops. So Reem's mother told her, when will you be home from the shops, Reem? Number D. Warda asked Sarah if she took the bus to school. So, of course, if I have the word if, this means the question begins with a helping verb or an auxiliary. So I say, Warda said to Sarah, do you take the bus to school? Number E. Tariq wanted to know who Mazen had been playing football with. So Tariq says, who have you been playing football with, Mazen? Number F. Zainab's parents wanted to know what their daughter had done at school that day. So they asked her, saying, what have you done at school today, Zainab? Report these questions using ask or want to know. Where did you spend your holiday, Khalid? Nasser wanted to know. So it becomes, Nasser wanted to know where Khalid had spent his holiday. Number B. What are you doing this evening? Hamid's mother asked him. So I can say, Hamid's mother asked Hamid, what he was doing that evening. Number C. When do you want me to do the shopping, mother? Soha asked. So it becomes Soha asked mother when she wanted her to do the shopping. Number D. How many students are there in your class, Ahmed? Sammy wanted to know. So it becomes Sammy wanted to know how many students there were in Ahmed's class. Number E. Who shall I invite to my birthday party, Hania? Riham asked. It becomes Riham asked Hania who she should invite to her party. And finally, number F. Is Randa Mona's best friend? Warda wanted to know. It becomes Warda wanted to know if Randa was Mona's best friend. Complete the definitions using the first and last letters of the missing words. Number A. We use a fire extinguisher, of course, for stopping small fires. Number B. If you electrical equipment, it stops working. If you what? Two words, by the way. If you unplug. So it is one word, okay, composed of a prefix that's un and then plug. Alright, so number C. Sometimes that is not difficult. Sometimes that is is not difficult. That is simple. Number D. A space is the place in a wall where you can connect electrical equipment. Of course, this is what a socket. Okay, number E. If you space something space, you tell someone about something they did not know or see. Of course, this means if you clarify it for them or tell them about it. This means if you point something out to someone. So it is point out. Number F. It can be very dangerous to a socket. To what? To overload a socket. Alright, number G. The space of a group is most of the people in that group. This is what? The majority of the group. Okay, now number 2. The light has a long wire because the socket is on the other side of the room. Number B. My grandfather not the house where he used to live when he was a child. It was next to a bridge. So, yes, my grandfather pointed out the house. Number C. Remember to space electrical equipment before you go away on holiday. So, you remember to what? Okay, to remove the wire from the socket. So this means you unplug your devices. Number D. The answers to the questions were quite what? So I think I did well in the test. So the answers were not complicated, so they were simple. Okay, number E. Be careful not to space that socket. you are using it for too many things, so you don't put extra load. This means you don't overload the socket. Number G, or number F first. The space of the students in our class come to school by bus. Only 2 come by train. So this is the greatest number, that is called the majority. And finally, we keep a space in our kitchen just in case there is a fire. So like this one, we keep fire extinguisher. Okay, now we want to choose number A. Omar came up with good suggestion for what to get Nabil as a birthday present. Number B. A new novel I want to read comes round or comes out next week. Comes what? Comes out. Number C. The best authors are always very good at coming round with new ideas or coming up with new ideas. Of course, you come up with new ideas. Number D. Do you know when the new James Bond film is coming round or coming out? Do you know when the James Bond film is coming out? Number E. Mona came round or came up with slowly after the accident, but she's fine now, so she came round. Number F. My brother has come round or come up with some useful suggestions to help me revise for my exams, so he came what he came up with. Okay, number 1. Choose the correct word and the phrase to complete these conversations. Number A. Go on. I will give it back. B. I know you must, or so here again I'm going to read the whole paragraph, okay, or the whole dialogue from the beginning. A. Could I borrow a pen, please? B. No, I'm sorry. You still have a pen of mine that you borrowed last week. Go on, I'll give it back. Okay, but I want it back today, before you go home this afternoon. A. I can't come out this evening. I'm revising for the math test tomorrow. I know you must, or surely the most sensible thing would be to have a break. I think it is the second one. Number A. No, sorry. There is a lot for me to revise. Number A. Yasser has hurt his leg, so we need another player for the football team. Are you free this weekend? Yes, I am. I am free, but I don't want to play football. Come round or come on, Omar. You will enjoy it. It will be, of course, come round. Come on. You will enjoy it. Come on, you will enjoy it. I'm encouraging him. I'm persuading him. B. No, I don't like football. Okay. A. You're not going to let us down. Just for me. Are you? So, let us down or just for me? You're not going to let us down. Okay. Number B. Sorry, I really don't want to. Okay, so you're not going to disappoint us. Sorry, I really don't want to. A. Just go on, or just this once. So it becomes just this once. So here are the answers. You can pause the video and write them on your workbooks. Okay, Write what you'd say in each of the following situations. Okay, number A. You want to watch a television documentary that starts in 10 minutes, but your brother or sister is watching a nature program which doesn't end for half an hour. Your brother or sister suggests that you watch the program when it is repeated. Persuade him or her to change programs. You can say, go on, come on, and so on. So, go on, just this time, or surely you can watch the programs tomorrow. Right, number B. You'd like to go to the park with your friend. You invite your friend, but he or she would prefer to go to the museum. Persuade him or her to go to the park. So you say, come on, it's fun at the park. I really think you'd have a better time at the park. Okay, so one of these can be used as persuasion. Number C. You ask your uncle if he can drive you to the station to catch a train. Your uncle says he doesn't have much time. Persuade him to take you. You can just say, just this once. It's not far to the station. It won't take you very long. Come on, just for me. Now we come to the end of this unit. I hope you have enjoyed it, and goodbye.